Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Watch World, and today we're going to be taking a quick roundup of all the major releases from this year's Watches and Wonders Festival. So guys, I hope you're all keeping well and safe. Before we start today's video, quick wristwatch check as usual. Today I'm wearing my Timex Expedition. So today I'm going to take a very brief look at some of the new releases from the companies taking part in the Watches and Wonders Festival. Now there's so many to get through, so unfortunately I won't be able to go into as much depth as I would normally like. But nonetheless, I'm going to give you a brief look at some of the main picks that I've chosen from this year's festival. So we are starting with Patek Philippe, one of the most coveted watch brands in the world, and they have released a new version of the 5711. Now I know this might sound a bit strange because the model has been discontinued, so yes, this will be the last year that the 5711 will be in production. And Patek Philippe, what they've done to mark this is they are going to release the watch in a olive green dial, and this will be produced for 1 year only. And then from the end of this year, the 5711 will be discontinued. So this is a combination that Patek Philippe have never used before on the Nautilus. This is a stainless steel watch with an olive green dial. Again, it's only going to be in production for 1 year, so the price is probably going to be astronomically high, and for most people, sadly, unattainable. It is also available with a baguette diamond bezel. And also, Patek have released a new version of the 5990 travel time, in rose gold with a blue dial. So yeah, Patek I think really hit it on the head this year. Absolutely stunning releases from the Swiss luxury brand. So moving on to JLC, and they have released a new version of their flagship model, the Reverso. This is the Reverso Hybris Mechanica Caliber 185, and it is the world's first watch to feature 4 sides. So I'm going to have to read this from my notes, but the watch has 11 complications, including a perpetual calendar, grand date, flying tourbillon, minute repeater, northern and southern hemisphere moon phase, lunar cycle, and star-flecked sky chart, just to name a few. This movement contains over 800 components and comes in at a thickness of 15.15 millimeters. Now some might say that is way too thick for a wristwatch and might not suit most people's wrists, but I think given the amount of complications that are on this watch, 15.15 millimeters actually isn't that bad. So yeah, you know, each their own. Again, for some people that'll be too thick, but again, given the complications, I think it is quite understandable why the watch comes in at that thickness. I mean, just looking at these pictures that JLC have released, this watch is absolutely stunning, and you know, I think could become one of the best versions of the Reverso that JLC might ever make. Next up, it's Cartier, and the French company have released a whole host of new watches this year, but I'm going to focus on their flagship model as well, which is the Tank. They have released the Tank in a variety of new colours, including red, blue and green. So these watches are paying homage to the 1980s monochromes, and they are also available in Roman numerals with a rose gold rail track on the dial. So I think, yeah, the variety of colours that Cartier have released here, they're trying to, you know, develop a colour that suits everyone. I think that's a great way to go about it, and particularly the rose gold with the red dial is personally one of my favourites of the new watches that Cartier have released here. So up next is IWC, who have released a new range of Pilot's watches. This is the Big Pilot 43. It is available in 43 and 46 millimeters and comes with a variety of strap options. So the watch is available in a black or blue dial, and different versions of the watch also feature chronographs and perpetual calendars. You know, IWC has never been a company that really stood out for me, but I think the black dial Big Pilot 43 millimeters is an absolutely cracking watch and something that I would be very honoured to have in my collection. So yeah, I think this year IWC have really stepped it up a level. So moving on to Panerai, and they have released what they are calling the submersible ELAB ID. and apparently it is their most environmentally sustainable watch to date. So 98.6% of this watch's weight is made from materials integrating a high rate of recycled elements. Its case is made from eco-titanium, which is 80% recycled titanium alloy. It is also the first watch to use 100% recycled superluminova and 100% recycled silicon for the movement escapement. Next up is Vacheron Constantin, who have released again a whole host of new models, and I'm going to focus on 3 of them in this video, and they are truly exquisite. So the first is the Overseas Tourbillon. The Overseas line is Vacheron's flagship piece, and this model has been released with a tourbillon feature, an 18-karat red gold case, and comes in at a size of 42.5 millimeters. I mean, just look at it. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I think Vacheron, with these new releases this year, are definitely showing why they deserve to be in the Holy Trinity up there with Patek and AP. So again, the next watch up on the list, I'm going to have to read the reference number from my notes. The next one is the Hysterex American 1921, and this is the 82035-000G-B735. So this is an 18-karat white gold and is completely square at 40 millimeters in height and width. So it features the numerals and hands at a slight angle, which would make it easier to read in certain positions, such as driving would be an example. It's a cool looking watch, you know, it's fun and unique, and you know, I think it definitely serves a purpose for some people. So yeah, good release here from Vacheron. And I have saved the best for last when it comes to Vacheron's new releases this year, as we turn to the Métier d'Art, which is a series of watches which pay tribute to certain explorers in history. And the one I'm going to focus on today is the one that pays tribute to Bartholomew Diaz. So just look at this watch, and to me this is perfection. It comes in at 41 millimeters in case diameter and is made of 18-karat pink gold. On the dial we can see the continent of Africa, as well as parts of Southern Europe, Saudi Arabia and India. And then we can also see there is no hands on the watch, and the time is readable through numbers and the minutes also on the right hand side of the dial. So there's also images of boats on the dial and a red line indicating the journey that Bartholomew Diaz took on his exploration. I mean, this watch is just absolutely cracking, and I think of all the watches released this year, not just by Vacheron, but of all the companies at the Watches and Wonders Festival, this is my favourite release. You know, it's unique, it's great, it shows great originality, paying tribute to explorers. You know, this is just absolutely watch perfection for me. And we finish today's video with Zenith, who have released a new watch called the Defy Extreme. This features their El Primero Caliber 21 movement and features 2 escapements. So one of the escapements is for the timekeeping section of the watch, which beats at 36,000 vibrations per hour. And the other escapement is for the chronograph function, which beats at an incredible rate of 360,000 beats per hour. You know, as far as chronographs go, it doesn't get much better than this. The chronograph hand moves at 1/100th of a second. And also, I love the black theme of the watch. You know, it gives it a very stealthy look, which I think is pretty cool. It also comes with a variety of strap choices and features a screw-down crown and sapphire crystal in front of the dial. So guys, there we have it, a roundup of some of the main releases from this year's Watches and Wonders Festival. I hope you enjoyed looking at this video, guys. If you did, please do hit that subscribe button. It really would help out the channel a lot. My favourite of all the new releases is definitely the Métier d'Art by Vacheron, but I would love to know what you think of all these releases, and let me know what your favourite is down in the comments. Guys, have a great week and weekend, and I will talk to you again very soon. Until then, take care for now.